we're dealing with the problem that asks if the radius of circle A is 1/3 the radius of circle B, and circle A rolls around circle B one complete trip until it's back to its starting point, how many times will circle A revolve? Okay, if this is circle B, the big one, and this is circle A, we're talking about how many times will this thing have to roll, whoops, all the way around and end up back where it started. Simple enough. And just to make sure everything's all square here, this is circle A, and let's see, whoops. As you can see, that's a 2-inch diameter disc. That's a 1-inch radius, of course. And here we have our 6-inch disc, a 3-inch radius. So a 1-inch radius and a 3-inch radius. The small radius is 1/3 the large one. So that's what we're dealing with here. Now, you would think initially, if you were to calculate the circumference of this disc and the circumference of this one and divide the little one into the big one, it would tell you how many times this would have to rotate to travel this distance, and you would be correct. But there's something else going on here. So just for those who like to visualize things, I'm going to set this up just a tad bit, and I'm going to take this goofy strip of garbage paper, wrap it around this one, and you see I wrapped it around tight already and taped it, so this piece of paper is the circumference of this disc. I then took and snipped it. Here is our total circumference. And if we take our arrows pointing down at the starting point, and we'll roll it along. There's one. Two. Put it again. And 3. Okay. We've got our big disc, and we've got our little disc. We roll this around, and one complete rotation is right about there. That's a quarter of the distance already. Okay, so we'll roll again. One whole revolution of the little disc. And look at that. Oops, well, we're halfway. That's 2. We'll roll it again. I'm losing it. Okay, well there's 3. And go the rest of the way around. Well, that's 4. If I was a little less sloppy about it, it'd be almost exact. So that's 4 rotations, not 3. Something to think about. If you try and imagine that you're sitting right here in the middle of this big disc, and you're looking at this little disc as it travels around your big disc. The arrow is pointing down, and we're going to make one full rotation around this disc, right? So here we go. Well, that's one rotation on the outside, but from the inside we haven't gone the whole way around yet. So we go a little farther. Now, there's our arrow pointing back to the center of our little disc. That's one rotation. And we'll go around again. 2. And one more time, 3. Or thereabouts. So it's either 3 rotations or 4, depending on your point of view. Give that a little bit of thought.